Yo, what up? And welcome to the Tailgate, an extension to a regular podcast where we get you hyped and ready for the game. I am your host, Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart, instigating George, and the man with some facts, Masa. This is the Tailgate. Good evening. What up, y'all?
What up, y'all?
How you guys doing today?
What's up?
I'm actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Can't complain. How are y'all?
I'm good, man. I'm trying to get into this FIFA, bro. I gotta get this tailgate out. So, that being said, it's a motherfucking episode of the Tailgate where we get you hyped for fucking the game, or as hyped as you get for a game against the Rapids.
Colorado.
With no Zlatan?
With no Zlatan. But let's get into it. News. We got news, right? We got two.
Yeah, gang of news.
Yeah, we do. All right, cool. Let's.
No, well, two big news.
Two big news, right? The biggest one is Zlatan getting handed a 2-game suspension by the what is it? The disciplinary committee.
Call it disco.
Yeah, disco. Whatever. He gets 2 games suspended for.
And a fine, dog. What kind of bullshit is that?
For lightly caressing Sean Johnson's neck.
Are we gonna get into this suspension, or are we gonna save it for Monday? Because I have questions to ask.
All right. Well, I mean,
Just ask, because it's going to be relevant on Monday.
If Zlatan gets a ban, does Sean Johnson? What's his name? Sean Johnson?
yeah.
Does he deserve a ban?
He should have got something, at least a fine,
Yeah.
right? He's the one that steps up to Zlatan.
100%.
So he should.
Which leads to my next thing that we've all talked about on this podcast about Zlatan. Well, it came up during, who was it, against RSO, or the defender that he brought down? Who was that? RSO. So it came up, and I said defenders are going to start going to hurt him. There's a target on him, but I think now it's more of we know that we're going to get into this man's head. Last season, all it took for somebody to step on their shoe accidentally, and he slapped the shit out of the back of the head. So
comedy.
Chris brought it up. I've been saying it. I think it's all of us on our mind. Does my man have a target on his head now?
Yeah.
If you fuck with him, and he's hot-headed.
Yeah, and what's fucked up is that Sean Johnson didn't get anything, right? Because he stepped to him, and then Zlatan reacted. Now, I'm not going to give Zlatan an excuse for that, because that one was dumb. That one was straight up dumb. But my man stepped to him, you know what I mean? So it should have been that way, right? So now there's a precedence of them getting into Zlatan's hand and provoking him without repercussion. And I think that's a problem. I think that's where we see a problem. Not necessarily from Zlatan acting wild, because, I mean, he's been acting wild the whole season, and he really hasn't gotten into any shit. But now with him getting a 2-game ban, and the other player not getting anything, I think it's going to be a problem.
Does he? So this question comes from Chris, which I don't really want to get into questions, but it's relevant. Is he putting himself before the team when he acts this way? So when you act this way and you react, which my answer is, we know Zlatan, we know the type of caliber that he is, we know who he is. He's going to put himself first in anything. But I think the captain armband kind of changes a little bit, which we could decide he deserves it or not. He's a name. He needs to be captain. But it is what it is. You're still a captain. You need to show some type of maturity. I think, especially to the young players like Efra, young players like...
He's not here for none of them. He's not here for none of them. He's here for himself.
Yeah.
And when they appointed the captaincy band to him, they knew who he was. I mean, like, listen, anybody who's surprised by Zlatan acting a fool, is a fool themselves for not knowing. I mean, for pretending like he's not that. You know what I mean?
Zlatan's always been like that.
Yeah, forever.
Go back his whole career.
Forever. Yeah, he forever will be that, and he's forever himself first, right?
I ever heard that story about him fighting Oguchi Onyewu at Milan? Like, why are you guys surprised this shit?
Yeah.
Now, my favorite story with him is when Mourinho told him at halftime, you can't go out there and get another yellow. He goes out first play. Oh, Balotelli, my bad. Same person.
Same person? Stupid. Same character though. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, so yeah, he has a captain armband.
You're right.
He has captain armband. And, you know, they decided that he was going to be the captain. So they knew what they were getting into. They knew who the captain was. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not tripping. No, we'll see Sunday. I'm sure we'll see Jonah with the captaincy. So,
you know what though? From this suspension, it kind of comes at a good time because we are playing Colorado, and I want to see someone else step up.
Well, listen, we'll get into that as we talk about the game. The second news is that Fabio Alvarez got his paperwork, so we should see him on the game on Sunday. I have thoughts on whether he starts or not. But you know he's able to be in the lineup if GBS decides to. One that's a lot less of importance, but still Galaxy related. Efrain Alvarez won the CONCACAF championship with the Mexico U17, and given an assist. Given assist. That
assist was nice.
Yeah, real class. And you know what I like about him? At least in his two most recent assists. Is the level of or the lack of effort that he shows when he gives a pass. You know what I mean?
It's calm.
Yeah, like
very calm.
Like you know what I mean? Like the pass was nice. The pass was like that chip was nice, precise, and he doesn't even look like he's like it's a whatever to him. Like it's just that's what I do, and I love that shit. That swag is nice. I fucks with that. So I can't wait to have him back. Hopefully, we could definitely use him. So. Can't wait to see him back with us. Anything else? Anything else we have regarding the Galaxy news?
Cienfuegos was talking to GBS today.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a shitload of tickets available for Sundays.
A lot.
So that's gonna be news. All right, but let's get into this. We do play a horrible
bad
Colorado team.
We thought we were bad the year that Alessandrini let us. Bad.
This is bad. Like so,
these motherfuckers have 2 points. Bad.
Yeah, and
bad.
if they don't win this this game, they'll go in the record for the worst start. So the longest streak without getting a win.
What a goodbye to Tim Howard, huh? Fuck.
Hey, listen, Tim Howard's been at fault with some of these goals too. Like you know what I mean, like you know. A year too long with him, for sure.
But that's on Colorado, Doug. What kind of dumbass organization gives a DP contract to a fucking past his prime keeper?
Yeah.
Any keeper. A fuck up prime keeper. Any keeper.
Yeah. That shit is dumb as fuck.
It's a bad look. But here, let me just read you their last 6 matches, okay? Against Orlando City, lost 4-3. Against DC United, 2-3. Against Chicago Fire, they lost 4-1. Against Atlanta United, they lost 1-0. Against the Whitecaps, they lost 2-3. And against Salt Lake, they lost 2-3. The last 2 games have been under Casey Connor, who's their new interim coach. A guy who, when he was playing, used to like to fuck with us. So, I don't know. I think there'll be some motivation for Sunday's match, especially knowing that they don't have to worry about Zlatan. I think they'll be a little enticed to go after it. Before we get into thoughts on how this game's going to roll out, let's talk about lineups. George.
Nah.
George, nah?
Nah, Stupid just joined.
Oh, there he is. Hold on. Let me.
So I figure out what the issue was.
What was the issue?
Other than your life?
That's the biggest issue because you're part of it. There was an application installed earlier this week in my basically
like who cares?
Antivirus.
Who cares about what your fucking issue is? You just
well, now you know. Antivirus.
No one cares.
And the settings on there was all fucked up.
All right. If you hadn't noticed, which I'm sure you had noticed, Angel wasn't here until right now. But Angel, you skipped the whole news part, but we're going into talking about lineups, and you and George submitted your lineups, so I'm bring those up right now, and
for sure
we could talk about what we think is going to happen. You know what? I haven't even looked at them, so right now we'll see them together. As soon as they come out.
With that being said, we did well. I personally, I think I added Fabio, especially with the lack. There it is.
So here's George's lineup. He's going with Bingham in the back, Polenta and Pipo. Rolf on the right, Shovik on the left, Dos Santos and Corona holding down the middle, Fabio playing the cam position, Antuna on the left, Leggett on the right, and Panias as our striker. Before we move on, let me bring up Angels real quick so we could
Let's see if we're besties. Let's see how close we got this.
see what.
I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be different.
Here's Angels. Angels is
Oh, he still has the chat.
Bingham. He has little Bingham on the goal.
Little Bingham.
People and Polenta and center back. So that's like you. Shovik on the left, Araujo on the right, which is changes from George's lineup. Corona, Dos Santos, which are our anchors, and I think you don't change that. And he keeps the Jet playing down the middle as a cam, with Alvarez, Fabio on the left, and Panis on the right, Antuna playing striker. So there's some changes there, mostly regarding who plays the cam and who plays on top. What do you think? Massimino submit one. What do you think?
My shit's a mixture of both because I have Rolf starting over Araujo, but I do agree with Antuna playing striker and Alvarez playing out on the left instead of Leggett getting kicked out to a wing. Just because Antuna has done it before in the actual game against Minnesota when he was up top, and that shit was beautiful. And I think now that we have someone like Fabio that could play any position up top, and we're going to need someone to play the wing, which is Antuna's wing. And I think that's how we're going to run this shit. The middle stays the same. Our CM stay the same. That doesn't change.
Did you guys get a chance to hear COG? This
Nope.
show?
Mm-hmm. Not this time. I didn't get a chance this.
On the Thursday show, I'm not sure if it was him or the Hammer who mentioned having Fabio play on top. So pretty much not moving our pieces and just kind of putting Fabio as a striker instead of putting him in the middle. Thoughts on that?
I fuck with that too.
Honestly, there's a lot of combinations up top that you can do.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot. It's endless.
You want to know my thought to that?
Of course.
This is basically to be his first game, right, with our squad. If Zlatan was not playing this weekend, if he were playing this weekend, Zlatan would be the striker. And we're expecting that Fabio would either be playing in that cam role or in that wing role, right? So for the majority of the season, with the exception of these 2 game suspension, unless Zlatan does something again where he gets on the suspension, we expect Zlatan to be our striker. So in my mind, we've already seen Antuna before in that forward role. So plug him there. We know how he can do it, how he can play on the wing. What we're going to need to figure out is where is Fabio going to fit into this lineup with Zlatan in it. So you have to start preparing for this for the future, right? So what's going to happen in the future? So at this point is, all right, where is he going to be more acclimated with Zlatan in the squad? In the cam role or out wide? So that's why I'm saying, you know what, you start now. You start doing that now.
You know what? It's a valid point. I don't know if I necessarily agree. Just because I think
you could argue that since it's Fabio's first game, put him at the top where he doesn't need to understand the gameplay that much and just go up top and like a headless chicken and try to go score a goal as well too though.
Yeah, and what I was saying, even more so than that, I think if you put him on top, you change less of the team, right? But again, I can also see what Angel's saying is that's not where he's going to be playing. That's not where.
But he's already been training with the squad.
Yeah, again
for a minute.
Again, like and we talked about this, right? Like there's difference between the training and the practice to the actual game.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But you know what? Like I said, I can see both scenarios being. I wouldn't be mad for either scenario. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, and yeah, I think predicting the lineup right now it's a little complicated, right? Especially because
this is one of the hardest lineups.
Well, we found out today, and during lunchtime that Zlatan wasn't gonna play for 2 games. He got handed a 2 game suspension. So that throws a wrench into everything because that's when it comes to him and Jonah. I think are 2 players that we know are not moving. You know what I mean? We need Jonah to be the heart, and we need Zlatan to score goals. So, when you take one of those out, now you have to move things around. So, but we'll see. Again, I think both predictions and Masa's combined prediction, they could all, either one could actually work, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if they put both things up top.
Hope not.
Would I be happy? No. But would I be surprised? No.
I hope not. But yeah, all right. So let's talk about Colorado real quick.
It's been another episode of
Straight from the stands.
Listen,
I don't know. This is a tailgate. My bad.
yeah. So here's the thing, right? Their last two games, they've lost, but they put up a fight, right? They lost against Vancouver 2-3, and I think they got a red card late, and that kind of turned the game for them. And they lost against Salt Lake just on the 12th. Was that the weekend, right? They lost against Salt Lake in the weekend, and again it was 2-3 game, which was close, and they could have snuck away with the win, but again they came short. Again, and I mentioned that Connor Casey being their coach. Connor Casey, yeah, that's the coach. I'm sure he'll get them up for the game against the Galaxy. Do you guys see him causing us any kind of trouble?
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
All right, let me hear Masa.
Okay.
Let me hear Masa.
Colorado, his problem isn't scoring goals; it's defending. Our best goal scorer is out this game. We're gonna have to outscore Colorado, which I think it's still very possible, but I don't think it's going to be a wide open. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, we're going to smash on this team like 5-0. I think it's going to be close. I think we're still going to win, but I think that Colorado is going to end up scoring a couple goals on us.
And to that, the opposite of that, I think that our biggest, and I don't want to say handicap, but our biggest fear when we're playing on that field is to pass the ball to Zlatan. I think that now that we're playing freely, I think you're going to be able to see the creativity from the Galaxy, which is last time that we saw that was the last time we played Minnesota at home.
Minnesota.
Which was honestly the best game, arguably the best creative game that we've seen for the Galaxy this season. So I think...
Listen, and I don't disagree with you that that's the best showing, right? But I also think that's an outlier. You know what I mean? I don't listen because we haven't been able to replicate that with our full squad. You know what I mean? So
that's with Zlatan though. But that's what I'm saying though. Zlatan to me is it's hard to play with him because when he's on the field, you're not going to argue that that man deserves the ball at his feet every time, which is what's been happening.
Well, so the last 2-3 games, it is arguable.
But it's arguable after we see the game. You get me? Once we see what he does with the ball after, then we say, why did we pass it to him? But going into the ball, if you have the ball at your feet, if you're a player like Antuna, your reaction is going to give the ball to that man. But regardless of what he does with it or not, you're always going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm saying is now that he's not going to be on the field, I think it's going to be the monkey's going to be off our back, and we're going to be able to play a lot more freely, which is going to be a lot more creative.
Well, listen, but against Minnesota, we played both sides really well, on and off the ball, and we haven't even been able to replicate necessarily off the ball the same way we did against Minnesota. So again, I understand your point. I don't see that. Let's talk about Kamara, the other Kamara.
Okay.
Right. He's
the one that didn't leave.
The one that didn't leave. I haven't watched. You know, what I mean, being in Colorado, I haven't really watched much of Colorado. I watched some of the recaps, but I gotta assume that that's one of their focal points, right? It has to be one of the focal points.
Him and Kellen Acosta.
But Kellen Acosta is more
creative.
Yeah, and he lays in the midfield. You know, more than moving up and attacking. So Polenta and Pipo, or Polenta and Steres, depending on who comes out as the two starting center backs. Can they deal with Kei Kamara?
I think we'll be fine. Personally, I do.
No problem at all.
I think there's going to be some adjustments made. The problem is, I think if Kellen Acosta finds Kamara coming down the wing, or if he tries to make a cut in, then I think that's going to be a little bit more of a problem. But I think going straight down the middle, I don't see people in Polenta or whoever starts down the middle having trouble, even if it is theirs.
Masa, Angel, got any thoughts on that?
Angel?
I think that the last time we played Colorado, we lost to them, but that was also Polenta's first game, and that was preseason. And Cuellar looked great that game, and since then he's been at best average. So I'm going to go with George. I'm going to go against Masa. I don't even think they're going to score on us.
Yeah. Interesting. They keep a clean sheet, huh?
I mean, you know what? At this point, we have to. It's not even, to me right now, it's not even what I'm expecting from the game. It's like, no, they have to go out and get a clean sheet. And even if it's a 1-0 win or a 2-0 win, but defensively, we've given up 8 goals in 3 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think
and there's no excuses right now for defense. Our entire defense is going to be there. So the defense, to me, is going to be more addition on defense because it could be like this. Legitimately could be a trap game because they've scored goals. They haven't had issues scoring goals, like George said already, or Massa, whoever it was. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So defensively, I'm going to be with George. I say that we're going to hold that shit. No goals.
so. And it also will debuff whether they have been tired or they've just been playing shitty at this point, right? They have a full week off. They had a full week off. We're training. So now we should be, close to 100% as they're going to get throughout the season. Again, we don't have Zlatan, but the rest of the players should be, they should be good to go. So, there's no more excuses of that. So we'll see if they're having a shit game or they just been on a shit run or they really were tired. I think that will clear that up a lot. All right. So now going to Galaxy, how does the Galaxy, what do they have to do to win this game? Given that we
Not
have
lose.
Captain Obvious. Given the lineup they're going to have, which is definitely going to be something different with the inclusion of Alvarez, as we all believe is going to start. What do we do to win this game? What are our key? What do we have to do? Like, what's the key to beat Colorado?
Whatever
Based off
Massa
of my
says,
lineup-
whatever George says, that's what I think.
Based off of my lineup, I want to use speed down the wing, being Antuna down the wing, and I think I would like to have our wings play the same way that other wings have played against us, where they receive it down the wing and drop it back down to the middle on the floor, waiting for Fabio just to touch it in. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
That's based off of my lineup. But even regardless of whoever's in that camera, I would like to see that just because that when Zlatan comes back, now defenses have to worry about the ball going in air or us playing the ball back to a cam roll that's just going to come in and finish and finesse the ball in. So hopefully GBS puts something into this lineup where we could build from when Zlatan comes back, as opposed to doing something that when Zlatan's not here, we're not going to be able to build from, like we did with Minnesota. We played a creative game when Zlatan came back, and we kind of went back to the Zlatan role. So I hope the technique behind this week's training was, let's do something to when he comes back, he's just a threat that they're going to have to worry about, and what we have here is good.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And it doesn't have to be necessarily the camera. I think, again, I've been asking for both Jonah and Corona to touch the top of the box and get shots out from there. So, and I think that works even with Fabio on out wide. You know what I mean? And because, as you said, we don't have Zlatan this game, so we can't play Zlatan ball without Zlatan. Masa, what you think?
I think we just got to play fluidly. And what I'm excited about, I think the key to this game is going to be Fabio Alvarez. I know it's a lot of pressure to put on him in his first game, but what I've seen from him and what I've heard from his interview, I think he's the only player on the team that's willing to take a risk going forward. And that's something we've been lacking.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
From WhoScored.com, I have Jonathan Dos Santos has a left string strain and will miss this match. Is there any?
I don't think so.
Is there anything behind that?
GBS had an interview today I saw on YouTube, and he said that Jonathan is available.
Okay, all right, cool.
So he should be fun. Here's a question for Masa. Over under 5 nutmegs for Fabio.
Under.
Under 5?
But I got over 2 for sure.
For sure. Angel, what's your thoughts?
2.5.
I'm gonna go with 0.
No, fool.
No, man, no, stupid.
about the game.
Well, I mean, you didn't specify.
Yeah, all right, my bad.
Everyone but you know what you were talking about.
Shit. You know what? We win. That's all I'm gonna say. Finally, we win. I don't care how. Just win.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
3 games, 3 losses. I don't know. Just win. That's all I care about right now. Just fucking win. I don't care how. Just win.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with Masa on one thing, is that I'm hoping to see some fluidity. and not always looking for the pass back. You know what I mean? Like give it to Fabio and have him take with somebody on. You know what I mean? Have him take somebody on and open space for somebody else to make a run. Because one thing that we're missing, and a lot of it has to do with always looking for Zlatan down the middle, is that, right? Is the creativity of taking somebody on to pull a defender or two away and open up spaces for the late run. So I'm hoping to see that, man. Again, Masa's right. Maybe it is a lot of pressure on Fabio, but he's been glamored as this, flashy creative guy. So I want to see some of that. I really want to see some of that because I think we've been lacking that this season for sure. All right, let's get into some predictions.
Ready.
Who wants to go first? Anybody want to go first? Who has it?
Angel, I have you first on my list. Go ahead.
We don't concede any.
Okay.
You're welcome, Bigum. I say we win 3-0.
Fuck, you took mine.
Who scores?
That's what I'm trying to think. Who scores?
Zlatan hat trick.
Zlatan hat trick.
Shit. Imagine. You know what I say? If Alvarez gets a goal, his debut, he gets a goal. I say he gets one. Damn. You know what? Antuna gets one. And I say Gonzalez gets one also.
People? Set piece?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I have you next.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to say... I didn't hear the name. I'm going to say... 2-1.
Ooh, we concede.
2-1. 2-1 with Pontius and Leggett. Yeah, let's go with Pontius and Leggett scoring goals for us.
Masa, have you next?
I got 3-2. Galaxy.
Oh, fuck. Who do you have scoring?
Fabio.
Fabio hat trick.
Hat trick Fabio. You guys start with that one? No more hat trick, Gio?
I'm telling you, I'm going to put pressure on him from the beginning.
All right.
Go.
He's going to feel it, dog. He's going to feel the pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
He
Now I'll
listens to
kick
this.
him like Polenta, dog.
All right, I have 2-0. I have Antuna and Pani is scoring.
Antunes and Pontius.
Antunation.
I could fuck with that. I would have liked to see him score a couple goals too. I mean, more goals for Antuna.
Mm-hmm.
So I fucks with that.
You know what? When it comes to Antuna, if we cross the ball, I want to see his crosses get better because I think they kind of highlighted that last. He is a Man City player still, so he's still in the debate of whether he be a first team player, and I think that's what separates him from the best.
What?
Like, get that in, like. You need to work on that in order to be considered.
No, you know what? But that's the thing, right? And it's funny because I was just thinking about this week actually about Antuna is like, how many crosses do you see City do when you watch City games?
Yes,
Not many.
Yes,
Because
okay, not many.
they play,
but still, if you go to that, you want to have someone. I think who they have on that field is We're getting into a City lineup, but. I think you need to be well-rounded as a player, especially when it comes to that type of team. That caliber of a team.
So, contrary to that, I would love for Antuna to play like any of City's white men, right? What is it? Mane or
Pimentel.
no? What's the?
You mean Sane?
Sane or yeah, right, wrong one.
Leroy.
Or the English kid. What's his name?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well,
57.
the point is that I would like for him to be wide, and when he gets the ball wide, just run to fucking end line and then look for a diagonal back. Right? That's what all they do is just kind of run to the end line, put the ball back. And I think he could do that, except that he always looks to lob it in for Zlatan. So that's what I like to see from him. But again, if he scores more goals, I'm okay with that. Anything else for any other thoughts on Colorado, not Columbus? No? Maybe? Yeah? Anything else?
I hate that city.
Trap game. Trap game.
I don't know. Listen, I think it'll be a telling tale of who the Galaxy really are this year. Right? If they're convincing without Zlatan, even if it's a shit team, especially because of the shit team, they should come out and just enforce their way. With or without Zlatan, they should just come out
Be
and
careful,
do it.
Rudy.
No
How you say
consent.
things.
Oh
Be
yeah,
careful
no.
how you say things right now. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
Now,
all right, listen.
So chill. All right.
Strictly soccer related.
If Colorado comes out and gives no consent, it's their fault.
No, not.
They said it in the way that they played.
No. Listen,
That's what I'm telling you.
I want them.
Careful the word choice they're using because we're about to get
You guys-
attacked
no,
by
you-
someone
you-
that's never doesn't even follow the Galaxy. You ever heard a podcast? Watch.
All they're gonna do is keyword consent. This shit.
100%.
But the guys need to come out and make a statement against a team like this. You know what I mean? Especially because they don't have Zlatan and be like, listen, we're not a one trick pony. When we're out here and we just whooped our ass as we should have. Just like Massa fucked up his desk, like just like that. Yeah, that's.
No, sorry, I ran into the room. He opened the door. Boom.
So you smacked them into the desk? That's messed up.
Fuck. All right, no,
he
guys.
gave me consent.
We're going way off the fucking board. All right, guys. Angel, any last minute ACB plugs, updates?
No, just get there.
Tailgate, what time start?
What time?
Hopefully you guys show up. But
Tailgate, what time to start?
3 hours before.
So that's 2:00. 2:00, guys. Tailgate starts at 2. Come out, have fun. Me and Master are looking for tickets. So
Did you guys talk shit for the people that aren't making the game?
No need to.
Okay.
Game of Thrones sounds real nice.
On Twitter.
I will.
On ACB Twitter so you can get censored.
Shit, in case you haven't noticed, people are not getting censored anymore.
Never mind.
Antonio.
I'm not gonna say shit.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, pero cuando él lo hace, ¿verdad?
All right, listen. Me and Master are looking for tickets. So if y'all ain't going to the game because some boo ass reason, and you want to donate tickets, hit us up on Twitter.
If you donate tickets, I can't confirm or deny they're going to give you Chivas away tickets.
I could deny right now.
Can't confirm. No, stupid. Can't confirm or deny. We'll get views.
Maybe you're right. All right. With that being said, is another episode of the Tailgate. I'm your boy Rudy. I am Smarts on Twitch. I am Smarts on Twitter. I am Smarts on the gram.
This is George. Jan defeated 7. Down there. You better put that Rudy right there.
Oh, not on there.
Not putting
Right
it
there.
Not putting it.
Follow me at Liberty96. I'm playing Pokemon right now, so chill.
You look like Side Duck.
Peace, love, and Jesus.